And now, ladies and gentlemen, big tech is for sale, China and Russia are buying. Please welcome our panel. From the Buck Sexton Show, Buck Sexton. From the Hudson Institute, Rebecca Heinrichs. Former U.S. Acting Attorney General, Matthew Whitaker. And our moderator, from the American Conservative Union, Katie McFarland.
Thank you, Matt. Thank you for all being here. This is where we get the really serious, wonky part of CPAC, which means you do not immediately now head for the doors. Look, China, Russia, big tech. What could possibly go wrong? You know, if we'd had this conversation 10 years ago, even 5 years ago, we wouldn't have thought, well, that's a problem, right? Russia, we beat Russia during the Cold War. They're finished. China, as even Joe Biden said a year ago, hey, man, they're not going to eat our lunch. They're our friends. They're not competitors. And we would have all happily turned over every bit of our personal information to Amazon, Google, Facebook, you name it. But here we are, and the world is a very different place, and we now have a pretty serious conversation to have. I want to start with China. You know, China's plan, and they've been quite open about it in recent years. 10 years ago they weren't, now they're very open about it. They plan to replace the United States as the dominant world power, economically, technologically,
beginnings of big tech now in full-out censorship mode because of the 2016 narrative of Russia hacking the election, and all the people, the Democrats, woke folks on the left, decided something must be done about this to stop it. That's actually the justification for why people like me, even, and many others at this conference, are being censored on social media. It all goes back to that 2016 hacking. And then when you add to this that Putin right now, they've actually just put Navalny, who's the most well-known essentially anti-corruption. So that's what you don't want to have happen. Russia now, and we can talk about some of the specific platforms they use, is in a position where they can say, if American political tech, or American tech rather, can be politicized to squash dissent on effectively a partisan basis, why can't we? Think about the precedent that has been set. Think about the layers here. You had 4 years of Russia collusion nonsense against Trump, then you had big tech weighing in, and now you have actual autocrats around the world saying, if Twitter and Facebook can block conservatives from having speech, guess what we can do in Moscow? And I haven't even gotten to the fact that they're still more skilled at hacking than the Chinese, although the Chinese are a bigger threat. But I will leave it there.
Pretty scary. Rebecca, what are the Chinese up to?
What I'd like to do is start off by saying, why do we talk about China and Russia? What are the two we talk about? Because when you think about the threats to the United States, you think about what is the country's objective and what is their ability to carry out that objective. And of those two countries, China, as KT said, has the desire, the will to replace the United States as the global superpower, and now they have the greatest ability to carry that out, economically, militarily, and then tech. And I'm going to talk most about that third basket. Russia, still a very serious problem, doesn't have the same kind of engine that China has economically. They have a lot of nuclear weapons, and so they are a serious competitor that we care about greatly, and they have the desire to undermine the United States, but they don't have the engine and the ability like China has to carry out just the amount of destruction